There is a whole new generation of guys you need to know. But even more important, your kids need to know them. Your grandkids need to know them. And you need to know what they did and how they did it. And I think if you take the time to educate yourselves and the global diaspora, you'll have a new appreciation of what it means to be Ukrainian. And you're no longer just the ones who everybody kicks around. You can fight back. You have fought back. And these are the guys that did it. Kravachuk held the Luhansk Airport for 100 days. In the end, the Russians overran the position. But his guys fought back and stripped the infantry out from the Russian tanks, so as the Russian tanks drove through the airport, all of a sudden they were being hit by the airborne from the back. So you actually had a scene where Russian tanks are withdrawing and running away, being chased on foot by Ukrainian airborne guys firing handheld rocket launchers because that's all they had. The Russians got them back a couple days later. They hit it with thermobaric strike and massive artillery. In the end, Kravachuk pulled out. He was wounded, and 75% of his 180 guys that were left were wounded. But the Russians wouldn't even walk into the place for 3 days because they were afraid that the Ukrainians were still there. Kriminosk held Kramatorsk Airport for 80 days surrounded. They ran out of ammunition. They ran out of water, but they would not give up. Pekulin took Donetsk Airport, Special Forces, and also Sarmagula. At Sarmagula, it's the largest mound in southern Ukraine. The largest hill. You can see, it was a very famous battle in World War II. There was a huge Russian statue on it. And you can see for 40 kilometers around, so it's a strategic point. Sarmagula changed hands 8 times. First the Ukrainians grabbed it, then the Russians. Ukrainians grabbed it, back and forth. Golochub was the last commander. Finally, and by the way, virtually everybody on either side who held it did not survive. Horrific artillery bombardment and then brutal hand-to-hand combat with no surrender, no prisoners. He's trying to evacuate his guys, and artillery hits him and blows the back of his cranium off. He's laying on a pile of bodies for 2 days. Red Cross comes along picking up the bodies. As they turned him over, part of his cranium, part of his brain was falling out of the back of his head. He moaned. Brought to here in the United States, and today is back in uniform and leading one of the academies. Mikas defended the Donetsk Airport and literally slaughtered a full regiment of Russian airborne in their various battles. In the end, Donetsk Airport couldn't be held, but the cost the Russians paid for it was enormous. You can go on Google Earth and go to Pishikov, northern Russia, next to Estonia, and look at the base and look at their cemetery and actually see the hundreds of new graves that were dug because of the fight at Donetsk Airport. So the one I'm going to tell you about a little bit is Zabrowski. By the way, why I'm going to tell you about it? Because yesterday he was named as the new commander of the ATO, the anti-terrorist operation in the Donbass. So he's the guy who's now running the war. And I think you ought to have an appreciation of this guy. Next slide.